All right, to help us better understand this, Professor Anil Gupta is a professor of strategy and globalization and entrepreneurship at the University of Maryland's Smith School of Business. He joins me again here in the studio. It's good to see you.
Good to see you, Phil.
I'm very skeptical. Let me just start with that about this whole thing. But explain, we explained already, but my understanding to this is, let's say I'm old, I have a house, and I need income. So I'm going to give you, the insurance company, the house, and you in turn are going to give me these monthly payments. How is this a good idea, or why is it a good idea?
No, I think, it's like any product, it's not just reverse mortgages. Even in mortgages, there are many, many different ways to slice and dice the thing. And so it can be, reverse mortgages can be a good idea or bad idea, depends on how they are structured.
Okay,
but
isn't the premise I'm borrowing money with the house I already own, and then so whether I die or live a long time, I'm just going to owe more money on the house in the future, right?
No, it depends. See, for example, in many countries, you cannot take a reverse mortgage unless you have already paid off the mortgage completely. So again, it's a case of you own the house, but if you already had, let's say, monthly cash flow to take care of your living expenses, you would never want to do reverse mortgages. This is really for people who have no other means of support and whose pension, if there is a pension, isn't enough to take care of their living expenses. So the question is, how can they convert some wealth that they have, some equity that they have in the house, into monthly cash flow?
Okay, so this is good if the house price obviously goes up and you own, almost 100% of the house. Now, we were talking earlier about them rolling out this pilot program in China with some of the cities, and one of the stipulations was that you fall into two different categories, right? One of them was whether or not you had living relatives. Explain to us why that matters.
No, I think, because essentially, if you have, let's say, children who are willing to look after you, so then what you want to do is leave your assets, leave your wealth, leave your property to your children, and let them look after you. So therefore, you would not want to go through the reverse mortgage phenomenon. But if you don't have children, or if, let's say, for whatever reasons, your children cannot look after you, in that case, if you have equity in the house and you don't have enough monthly income, this is can be a good source.
You know what I worry about is whenever we have anything that's complicated, and let's admit, this is not easy to understand, especially if you're 75 years old and you're thinking about you need money. This can get very complicated, is that it opens the door up for people to take advantage of the elderly. And we saw that in the United States, even with regular mortgages.
Yeah.
Forget about reverse mortgages.
Sure. Absolutely.
How do you protect those seniors, whether you're in the U.S. or in China or anywhere in the world for that matter?
Yeah. I think, and just to kind of reinforce your point about the risk for the elderly is because reverse mortgages will be taken by people who are typically lower income and typically they are older. And so that's, the kind of setup where there is serious risk of being taken advantage of. And what you need, therefore, is proper regulation in terms of who is eligible to take reverse mortgage, but also how much reverse mortgage. So and of course, all the laws about disclosure, all the laws about, kind of under what conditions, who can issue reverse mortgages.
Okay, so let's explain a little bit more about reverse mortgages. So I have a house, I own it free and clear, I give it to you as the insurance company, you give me monthly payments of a certain dollar amount every single month.
Right.
And of course, I now owe money on the house.
Correct.
What happens when I die?
So once again, it varies. So for example, take Korea. Because reverse mortgages, for instance, in the US or in Japan or South Korea or Australia or UK, they come in different shapes and sizes. But take South Korea, for example. So their reverse mortgages are insured for the life of the homeowner by the KHFC. Now, when the person dies, if the person owed more than what the home is worth, the person's heirs are not liable for anything. But on the other hand, if the home is worth more than the loan that's due, then the heirs of the homeowner, they actually get the balance equity.
I'm just thinking, so you die, and of course the kids are usually left taking care of your estate.
Right.
Do the children like this idea? I mean, obviously there's money to be made by the insurance companies, otherwise they wouldn't be doing it. But do the kids like it? Does the spouse like it? I mean, who does this benefit besides the person taking out the reverse mortgage?
I think, in terms of the homeowner, the person and the spouse, the sensible way to do this is really like, joint life insurance. So therefore, it's not just that the reverse mortgage expires or comes to an end and the house has to be sold when one person dies. It's really when both of them die. So therefore, the spousal agreement should automatically be built in. When it comes to children, so there again, I mean, I think that if the children are willing and able to take care of their parents, then you would not need reverse mortgage.
Well,
But if
I'll let you explain that to all the children. I apologize for out of time, Professor Anil
Right.
Gupta, University of Maryland. Again, certainly there's great concern about explaining such a complicated financial product to people close to the end of their lives, I guess, in the later years. Thank you very much.
Welcome.